let me take this opportunity and welcome you to the Lumen Technologies India presents the 12th edition of the ET Edge GCC Summit 2026, co-powered by Avante Spaces and Bennett University and brought to you by ET Edge. As we look forward to this spectacular show unfolding, I'd like to share with you a little bit about our theme. From capability to command, the rise of strategic GCC leadership. Today's gathering isn't just about meeting, it is about meeting with intent. I'm now about to welcome on stage an industry leader. May I request all of you to please get set as to share with us more on how India's GCC can lead the AI era. I am so very privileged to welcome on stage Mr. Soumitra Saha, Managing Director, Country Head, Lumen India.
The theme here is very apt, from capability to command. Yes, we have established credibility, we have established our brand. What's next? Next is the new mandate. And this new mandate comes in 4 distinct forms. Number 1, ownership. Ownership is about owning business outcomes and customer outcomes. The next one is decision-making proximity. If the GCCs from India can influence, shape business decisions and outcomes, is when decision-making capability comes to us. The next one, AI-native operating models. It's about challenging the ecosystem, redesigning your organization, and organizing the company around AI-native principles. How do we evolve ourselves into our ecosystem where humans and AI agents coexist with the same set of business priorities and goals? The next one, trust is all about data, trust in systems, trust in operations. I think this is the rise of the new India. I think we can double down our efforts and really move towards the path of a Viksit Bharat by 2047.
Pilots are great for aircrafts, not for enterprise transformation. Successful AI-first GCCs have moved away from, oh, let's try this tool, to let's implement this tool across the enterprise. What separates AI-first GCCs is clear business ownership, strong data foundations, robust AI governance, and talent that blends in domain knowledge with AI fluency. They do not chase isolated use cases. In fact, they are embedding AI into their day-to-day operations, engineering, technology, customer experience, workflows, sales, marketing, finance, all with very clear, measurable business outcomes. You know, GCCs which are stuck in a pilot phase, they have a lot of excitement, but they lack ownership, accountability, sponsorship, and scale. In short, AI-first GCCs are not experimenting anymore. They are operationalizing AI across the enterprise. India has already earned its place and tag as the world's execution center. But now it is time that we move on to the next ambition, which is to become the world's biggest imagination platform. To do this, GCCs need to make a major shift. GCCs need to come out of the daily execution mode into a mode where they are chasing enterprise business outcomes, which means GCCs need to be working on enterprise strategic initiatives which impact either the top line, the bottom line, or positively influences customer experience. GCCs need to be more tightly integrated with customers, markets, startups, universities, and the senior leadership globally. And they should be able to impact the top line, bottom line, and the CX. The real shift is from work being done in India to ideas being conceptualized, implemented, scaled, and led from India. The future of GCCs is not anymore in terms of scale of work, but it is the enterprise value that they're going to create. The most future-ready GCCs will not be playing on any one parameter. It is not just talent, AI maturity, product innovation, or execution on one scale. They need to be playing with all these 4 parameters together, which means the winning GCCs will have deep talent with AI-first thinking, who are able to innovate and scale at an enterprise level. Over the next decade, GCCs will move from being just capability centers to being the nervous system for global enterprises. Traditionally, GCCs have been measured by scale, efficiency, and cost outcomes. Those days are gone. However, those metrics are still table stakes. In today's world, GCCs will be measured by business outcomes. Can India lead from the front? Can the GCCs scale up solutions across the enterprise and drive either a top line, a bottom line, or a CX value? These are the only three parameters in which GCCs will be measured in the future. The new measure of any GCC is not going to be in terms of its efficiency or how it runs the engine. It is how powerfully it helps steer the enterprise achieve business outcomes.
Up next, we have a panel discussion on the GCC leadership shift from delivery to driving innovation, product thinking, and enterprise growth. Let's take a look.
Lalita, I'd like to come to you. How does an organization, especially in the GCC space, evolve from supporting transformation to become one of the organizations that is practically driving it?
What is required to drive a transformation in any enterprise is the end-to-end understanding on the length and breadth of the organization. What is important for a transformation is to have that ability and understanding of whatever you're doing, how is it having an enterprise-wide impact, and ability to connect the upstream and downstream and the value chain of the organization, the value streams, right? So if the GCCs are increasingly improving their influence in terms of driving more and more end-to-end functions, then they become a natural choice in supporting the enterprise-wide transformations.
And Soumitra, if you were advising a new GCC entering India today, what would you prioritize first? Capability, innovation, talent, or business influence?
Honestly, I feel all of them are important because you can't do a GCC by leaving out one. But I will give you an order of priority. I think my topmost priority will be talent. If you have talent, you can build capability, you can innovate, you can scale, you can build the GCC. Talent availability in India has never been a problem, and I don't think it's going to be a problem. It is about talent readiness. Is the talent ready for the future? That's the million-dollar question we have. I believe in a 3B philosophy. Build, buy, borrow. Build is, we already have talent. Why can't we look at upskilling this talent with the right opportunities and the right relevant skills for the future? Make them future ready, right? So that's about building in-house, upskilling, reskilling your people. Next is buy. Of course, you have to go and invest, you have to buy talent, but at the same time, look at buying intellectual capital by collaborating with academia and startups. And when I say borrow, it's about including those niche players in your ecosystem.
Well, Brak, I'd like to come to you. Looking ahead, do you see GCCs becoming global centers of expertise, global product organizations, or global business leadership hubs? Where do you think it lies?
The simple answer is why not all three, right? I think the future GCCs can't fit in one box, right? It depends on the business you're in. It depends on the goals you're trying to achieve. I think technical and domain excellence is going to remain critical for all GCCs to continue to grow and continue to drive value for their parent companies. But I think it's also key to continue to build on the fact that India has the largest penetration of artificial intelligence in the world right now. So digital delivery will continue to be driven from India. I think you'll see that across the next 2 to 5 years. No chance of that changing. I think leadership and the ability to lead from India is going to continue to grow, and that again goes back to that trust and building credibility with your partners and your associated enterprises. I think at the end of the day, the future GCC, it's not going to be where you're located. It's really going to be about what the value you provide to your parent company is. And if you can continue to provide that value, I don't think there's any reason why you can't provide all three.
Next, we bring you a solution showcase on commerce, culture, connection, shaping the next-gen GCC ecosystem in Pune. Let's have a look.
As global enterprises look to transition their operations from capability to command, the mandate for GCC leadership has fundamentally changed from managing technology centers to strategic engines that own global product pipelines drive core innovation and influence enterprise growth. In this high-stakes environment, physical infrastructure becomes a critical lever for talent retention, operational resilience, and overall business effectiveness. To build a global command center, your infrastructure must possess the capability to scale and expand. Avante Business Park provides that framework. As you lead your organizations from capability to command, Avante Business Park offers you 4 critical enablers: a trusted institutional partner, Kirloskar Group, with a proven track record of engineering excellence, strategic location to Pune's core talent density, a commitment to global ESG and sustainability benchmarks, and a campus infrastructure engineered around human performance and productivity. Thank you very much.
Real estate developments which house commercial office today is just not about a glass facade, space optimization, or cost. Occupiers like GCC today look for their offices to be not just cubicles, meeting rooms, and conference room. They also want to ensure that the quality of space is high. They also want to ensure that there are a lot of amenities, recreational zones, and collaborative spaces available. They want to ensure that these act as a pull to retain talent, to attract talent, retain talent, and also to ensure that their employees are satisfied when they are in office. So commercial real estate today is a strong strategic differentiator in attracting talent and contributing to the growth and expansion of GCCs.
Moving ahead, we have a panel discussion on From Gen AI Pilots to Profit, focusing on how GCCs are driving ROI, efficiency, and measurable business impact. Ajay, beyond efficiency, how do you measure the ROI for AI?
I think the important part is to understand how we use AI and Gen AI for solving problems in the business. Have we got targeted problems that we are trying to solve? Have we got targeted outcomes that we are getting out of it? And if that is there, then we utilize that for the business case. We are a fintech organization, so we look at problems and we look at those and business cases. And we look at it from regulatory point of view, from cyber point of view, and try to see how we can get more efficiency out of that. But at the same time, how do we not increase our costs? And that's what we are trying to use Gen AI to solve, is to look at those particular problem areas and to implement solutions over there and become more efficient.
Subhadra, you all are from very different industries. But where do you think the Gen AI ROI story is not transferable across the verticals?
I worked in pharma and now in media, right? I'm just drawing an analogy to not just in Gen AI, but if you take any concept, right, any foundation concept, and you just chip coffee between industries, it's not going to work. You have to, the context of that industry, whether it's a B2B or it's a B2C, who's your customer, ultimately with that obsession. And I think the models will work because they're trained on everything. The context, and now with agentic, that context is slightly more evolved. But that context building is what I, as a data person, I actually feel very passionate about that. Right? We are all talking about the context brain now and all of that. That becomes the real differentiator tomorrow, to actually use that to the right industry in the right context, even if the foundation model is the same.
Up next, we have a solution showcase on From Enterprise Data Chaos to AI-Driven Decision Intelligence, featuring Ankur Tiwari, Director of Products and Solutions, Scary AI. Let's have a look.
Data is everywhere. Every transaction, every customer interaction, every sensor ping, every system touch point, every document, everything is generating a lot of data. Data sits across too many places: enterprise systems, documents and files, communication and collaboration tools, IoT sensors, analytics platforms, and even external and public data sources. Every business function is generating its own silo of information, and none of it speaks the same language. And because of this fragmentation, same set of problems keep appearing across different industries. Whether your challenge is with documents, whether your challenge is with knowledge management, whether your challenge is with IoT sensors, Scry AI has a solution which is solving it somewhere in the world. Our motto is simple: to turn information into intelligence and intelligence into impact.
I think it's time that we move beyond just being known as a delivery hub and basically be seen as a global innovation capital. We have such talented workforce who are highly skilled that we can drive a lot of innovation from India. and the access to information has evolved so much in the past several years. You don't really have to be on physically at the delivery stage or delivery location to basically drive the innovation. You can do it from India. There are teams who are driving innovation at a factory floor in Germany from India, right? And that applies to every business function. The kind of constraints that we had previously are no longer there. So it's time that we can, really shine in the innovations area as well.
Moving on, we bring you an insightful conversation on re-architecting the GCC footprint, examining the strategic role of real estate in distributed operating models.
So let's begin with the new GCC geography, Deepak.
Right.
Today, do you see we've seen historically real estate followed business strategy. And that's always been on the books for most of us. Do you see that sort of happening in the reverse today, where the footprint itself is shaping the business decisions around talent, expansion, and operating models?
Sure. I think if you look at the way real estate, especially commercial real estate, has evolved over the last few years, right? Today, it is strong strategic differentiators for occupiers like GCC to attract talent. It plays a huge role in terms of talent attraction, talent retention, and also ensuring that when they compete for their customers and their the infrastructure and the ecosystem a developer provides for enables their growth. So from that perspective, real estate developers providing commercial office space for GCC is a strong impetus and a strong differentiator.
Up next, we have a panel discussion on the GCC Workforce Reset, exploring how talent, technology, AI and culture are driving transformation.
So Nikhil, how do you think we can develop a strong and sustainable leadership pool to support GCCs?
The first is functional mobility for your existing leaders within the GCC. So they understand the various different operations, which are not predominantly their domain expertise. Second is cross-border talent mobility. Send people over to HQ for long-term assignments. That helps us to identify cultural gaps. The third and the most important part is educate your leaders to talk the GCC language. Apart from that, the industry and universities have to come together, academia, to build contextually relevant courses for the GCC.
Malvika, what innovative practices do you think we can bring into this talent pool and talent management in the GCC industry?
I think talent development now plays a very key role, whether we bring it with AI or without AI, through learning culture or an environment that we can build. I think that has helped. And even in Lumen, the culture of learning and continuous learning all across has really helped in building and shaping the talent to remain current.
Now moving to Mohit, what do you think we need to do different on the culture front for the organization to sustain and make a collaborative approach?
One of the most important things I think, which I would say is the GCCs are a microcosm of the enterprise. And I think it's very important to understand the essence of why these organizations exist. So pivoting on that, if you think about it, we're talking about, this panel is about talent. Talent is truly the life force for the organization. But if I have to take that one notch higher, what differentiates good enterprises or GCCs is going to be the culture. That forms the backbone that really binds it together. When we talk about culture, it's about where employees feel trusted, respected, and they feel empowered to make decisions.
India will become the global enterprise innovation capital when it stops measuring success by the work that we deliver and starts measuring success with the decisions that we influence. Innovation doesn't happen because you buy talent in any particular geography. You have to entrust that talent with a lot of ownership. The next big chapter for India is not delivering more work, but it is about creating more products, creating more IP, having your strategic leaders drive global decisions. The day the biggest companies in the world stop coming to India only for talent and they look to come to India for their next big idea, I think that's when India has truly become the next global innovation capital.
Next up, we bring you a panel discussion on Co-Pilots Evolved, looking at how agentic AI is scaling innovation, efficiency, and enterprise impact across GCCs.
Santosh, I'd like to come to you. We're seeing that many organizations today are experimenting with agentic AI. Very few are actually redesigning their operating models around agentic AI. What separates the two, and why do we still see that differentiation?
So you have an option. You can use AI as a bolt-on on your existing workplace, or you can redesign the production line to really get the market access and get more productivity. And the reality today is out of 90 to 95% of the enterprise that are using AI, only 5 to 6% are actually getting the financial benefits. And the key question is not about how much AI you are using. The question is about how much actually you are able to create opportunities for your organization or your business, and also how much you are impacting the end customer's experience. So the first category is actually using AI as an additional tool. There is the second category which has redesigned the entire processes. Basically, they have a very repeatable AI model, and they have put a governance in place across the operating model.
On the innovation front, our Makers Lab spearheaded Project Indus, which is India's first LLM built from scratch, which can converse in 37 plus languages. So this expertise actually help us to navigate the nuances of building solutions which can make enterprise and GCC's AI native. On the platform side, we have invested heavily on building our own AI platforms, frameworks, and IPs, which can accelerate the solution to make the GCC's transformation. But most importantly, how do we execute? Number one, we have created new execution models like Vector Squads, which is a combination of domain-led, cross-functions, human plus AI teams. Plus, secondly, the service token-based pricing model, which is linked to the outcome and predictability. With all this, we feel we are in a position where we can support GCCs become AI-driven, intelligent, smart, secure, and future-ready.
Moving ahead, we have a solution showcase on refresh, recharge, perform, beverage solutions for the modern workforce. Let's have a look.
As Nestle, as a global brand which brings to you the GCCs which have the global presences, it gives you the right idea, the right quality, the right hygiene. And that is what our vision also speaks about. Nestle, it's all about health and nutritional company. So here we are talking about wherein we give the solutions which lays across the channels, whether it is the BNI offices, whether it is the hotels, whether it is the QSRs. What is more important for the larger group over here is that the kind of solutions what we'll offer. So we are here to provide you solutions from 150 rupees a cup of coffee to 8 to 10 rupees a cup of coffee.
The difference between AI-first GCCs and those stuck in pilot mode is that leaders are no longer treating AI as a project, they're treating it as a workforce. We are entering an era where every enterprise will operate with a digital workforce alongside their human workforce. GCCs that adopt this shift early will become strategic innovation hubs, driving competitive advantage and growth, not just efficiency.
Up next, we bring you the chief guest address on India in the Global Enterprise Order, featuring R. Chandrasekhar, former President NASSCOM and former Secretary IT, Government of India. Let's take a look.
I have been closely associated with the IT industry since its inception. I've seen many phases when different segments of the industry were in the spotlight. But today, after having weathered so many challenges in between, it's now the GCCs which actually are front and center in the sector. GCCs in India are at an inflection point in their growth story. AI has now become an important element, possibly the leading element, and it is also driving the need for new business strategies. So the implication is that IT and AI infusion are today driving the core, very core of business. This requires high-end talent for pushing the frontiers of technology, for creating products using the technology, and for applying the technology in different areas. It's clear that there are many challenges ahead and that the corporate leadership at the headquarters and the GCC leadership here in India need to continuously recalibrate the role of the GCC within the broader business strategy. Thank you all.
We now bring you special glimpses from the award felicitations of impactful GCCs of India, celebrating excellence and transformative contributions across the GCC ecosystem.